aluminum levels are testing like at a hockey stick level all across North America. People are seeing that it's gone up. That's what the hockey stick thing means the chart goes up like that. In recent decades, it's just gotten worse and worse and worse, and people want to know why. The reality is it could be this. There are aluminosilicates in 70, it's up to 7 to 8% of all soils. Aluminum's super common. In some areas like eastern Washington and Idaho and Montana, they might have higher levels of aluminum. But the thing to realize is that these things are natural, but they get locked up. And now they're being released, everyone's saying, by acidification from fertilizer. But it's more likely Roundup. Did you guys know that glyphosate complexes with aluminum, copper, and iron? And so it chelates it. And so it's going to read on that test. So it's going to read super high. It's going to be more mobile. And we're seeing in the water, in the precipitation, we're seeing that there's higher levels now of aluminum in the rain. And there's higher levels of glyphosate in the rain. And I suspect it's the complex form. So there are derivatives of glyphosate there as it breaks down, they've seen. But it's the aluminum glyphosate complex that is really what people are dealing with. It's traveling in the rain. It's already in, you know what I mean? It's being released in the soils that we're using Roundup, but glyphosate's been found in the rain, so it's carrying or pairing or complexing with that aluminum. So higher aluminum levels that are both released in situ, they're your aluminum silicates you're releasing when you're doing glyphosate, right? Roundup. And I'm referring specifically to the work that's published around this. Dr. Don Huber's done a lot of work on this, but there's a lot of other amazing people. And so I've been reading the studies on this, and you could look them up yourself. But these things are in the rain, they're in the precipitation, they're in the water cycle at higher levels, aluminum, but also iron. And so when I talk to someone like Todd Harrington, who's been testing all this stuff and seeing all this stuff, but also dealing with systems that are recycling waste, and because they're using Roundup, they're concentrating and building the aluminum levels, building the iron levels. And so remediation, right? But the reality is there's so much aluminum that we really need to remediate the glyphosate so that we can then take the aluminum back into a form and back into a non-available form. So usually people are like, well, below pH 5.5, aluminum levels don't matter. That's the thing, is even at high pHs, even in great soil, if you have Roundup glyphosate in there, it's going to release that aluminum. It's going to release a lot of things. And so it'll test super high. It'll inhibit plant growth in many ways. I'm not going to get into all the ways, but this whole, where's aluminum coming from? Could be coming from in situ, also in the rain, also in the flood waters, also in the groundwater. We see these things leaching into the people's wells, these chemicals. So I just wanted to say all that. Just wanted to share all that. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful morning. I hope that you're having a good day. We really need to remediate and clean our world and make it healthier because, as Don Huber says, glyphosate is invisible. You can't smell it. You can't taste it. You can't see it, but it will kill you. And we need to do better as a culture all over the world, and as consumers, to demand that we don't have this stuff any longer in our food supply. This would explain tons of things